Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I'm set up for something kind of interesting. My 7-year-old created this creature called the ground pool, and essentially it walks around and it grabs you and throws you in a hole and then drops the earth it has picked up on top of you, and it mushes you under there. And then it could come back later and shove its gross proboscis into the place where it dropped you under there, and you're mushed and rotted and smashed and drink you up after it's given you time to cure. So I'm going to try to make this thing because he challenged me to make several of these horrible creations he made that are absolutely terrifying. So I'm going to start with the ground pool. So the first thing I did is I dug around in some of my boxes and I found some parts that might work as good body parts. And these are from the Dollar Tree, from that Final Faction. And I don't use these for usually anything but sci-fi, but I think we could definitely get some of this going. Take what we want out of these, throw the rest back in the bin. What about something like that? Snip that off. Look at that. Looks like it might just be what we needed. Use that to be the front arms. They're kind of like grinder buzzer things. Maybe he can cut the ground loose with those. Maybe that's what those are. We'll cut this off. Okay. And this is going to be my ground, so I'm just going to get some tin foil. There we go. Something like that. And this will simulate the area he's pulled up. Just like that. And we'll make the piece they ripped out of the ground underneath that. We'll move that back a little bit so it's not exactly in the center. And then we'll make his legs out of these thingy bobs. Okay, I got pliers. Now I'm going to kind of take about an inch and snap those a little bit to get some angles. About an inch again. We'll just make a couple of those. I'm just going to eyeball that. I'm not going to actually measure it out. Just talking to a good friend of mine on the phone while I was putting together a package for the Tardigrade-Off winner, which I have to send out. And then it turns out I can't send it out Monday because it's damn Memorial Day. As a veteran, you'd think I'd know when Memorial Day is, but I apparently did not. And Lady Doom had to inform me as to when it was. All right, so we look like we can get a good fit there. I'm going to get some glue and shove that on just like that and like that. Get that in place. And then I'm going to get in here in the gaps, get some glue in there. Just like that. Nothing too extreme or fancy. And then I'm going to heat this up with a things I can kind of spread that out and get it in a different position. Let that cool. All right, I'm going to start placing the legs. He's got 2 legs on each side. What I want to do is I want to kind of get a good connection point where I can drag it around and kind of mush it in and make it part of the thing. I broke that one. I have to put it back together. There we go. In the winter, this glue was acting real nice. In the spring, it's not so nice. Okay. Oops. Oops. Get a nice, good, let it cool. Okay. Oops. Got to keep it true to my little man's design as best I can. All right, come on. Try getting around, get a good connection. Let that start to cool too. Oh, I think it's terrifying. If you see a hole, or if you get yanked up in the air by something fast-moving, gross insectoid creature, well, just know that the ground pool got you. And you're dunzo, sir, or ma'am, or whatever. It's game over for you. Oh my gosh, cool already. All right, so now we got to get him on the base and let it cool. Okay. We're going to have to sturdy this up. So let me see if I can find some stupid glue. Oh, gosh darn it. All right, that's not working. Oh, it sprayed all over the floor. Of course it did. No problem. I got another one right up here. We'll sprinkle some baking soda on those legs. And this will sturdy everything up. Give it a sense of permanency. We'll build up some of our ground layer. Baking soda, super glue. Oops. Okay. Then we're going to run one more strip along the legs, just to strengthen those up a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I need to get that arm out some more. And we need to work on the ground puller portion. So we're going to need to sturdy up this bottom down here. And to do that, I'm just going to get some glue. Spread that around under there. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle some more there. We'll do some here. Very sturdy. That's what we needed. All right. I want to do some work down here in the hole. So I'm just going to sprinkle glue in there. All around. Put some baking soda in there. I might pull that out. Okay. All right, we need some stones, and then we need to do the majority of this base work and make sure that it looks like dirt and gravel and whatnot too. So let's get a couple big rocks. Try to set that up on that ledge some is all I'm doing. The ground pull, oh my gosh, if I let my son design all the enemies, it would be just, you wouldn't be able to fight any of it. It would all be kaiju and crap. He's not forgiving, but he also gives players random bonuses of like laser damage and stuff that you weren't expecting when he makes an adventure. So it makes it a little more, you know. I'm looking for my little rocks. Let me get a couple of those sprinkled around. Oops, that's way too much in that spot. Not what I wanted at all. There we go. Then we'll just hit all those with a little bit of baking soda, or I'm sorry, super glue, so that they become permanent. additions. I think that'll hold. Now for the rest of this, we probably don't need to do baking soda and stuff. So what we can do though, is we can get any flock that we have. Oh, I'm knocking stuff down. Here's some crap flock. I'm going to sprinkle this around in some of those spots just to kind of stick it there. And then I'll come back and paint this in glue and do it again. Same way. Okay. Let's get some smooth stuff there. Some glue. Crappy brush. Like that. We're almost done. There is something we didn't do yet, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. Now we need to get a piece of tin foil, if I can find one. Where did I put my tin foil at? I just had a little piece on the table that I used earlier. Tin foil. Got some somewhere. Had an open one. Alright, no problem. We can't be looking for that all day. I wish I knew where I put that, but I had an open one. Let's open another one up real quick. We just need a little bit of tin foil for this next part. And what we want to make now is that little pile that he pulled out of the ground. We want to make it look roughly like it goes there. Okay. So on this side of it, where the dirt's coming out, I'm looking for some wire real quick. We have to make a handle to hold it by, so we might as well make the piece that comes out of the bottom of the ground pool. So I'm just getting some 3-inch-ish pieces of wire. Some twine. Okay. And we're going to twist that around a little bit, and then we're going to get this piece. We're going to wrap it around to kind of hold everything. All right. It's going to give us some different and new texture. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to pull one of these down and out, and the other one back up. We're just going to twist that around. Okay. Then once you have that kind of where you want it, this piece is going to snip to hook to the bottom of the ground pull, and this piece is going to hook to the dirt that he pulled out of the ground. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to spread this out a little bit. Kind of like this. Get a flat platform there. We'll cut off this excess string so it's not too long. And we will rub that around. Let me get a stick so I don't burn that, you know what, out of myself. We do want to build that up a little bit in a minute, but just wait. Let that cool. All right. Okay. And get that bent up into your space where it's going to sit. And I would probably get some super glue up in here just to kind of make this rope less ropey. Push that in, let it soak in some. And let's make sure we got it on the edge where we want it here. Uh-oh, out of glue. All right, we got more glue somewhere, don't worry. Somewhere there's more glue. Uh-oh, that's empty. Well, hell. Okay, now we have a good handle to work with, and we can start on our bottom. So for our bottom, there's just a couple little things we want to do. One is we want to get some little like roots coming out of the bottom of the ground, as they do. I don't know where I put that glue at. There it is. So we just want to kind of get that there. Snip that off. We'll just do two. You can get as creative as you wanted. It's your ground pull. Where's the glue? There's the hot glue. Okay. Then you want to get, whoops. Okay, then you want to kind of bend these up some. So they kind of look like roots a little bit. You want to get a glob on there. Sprinkle a little bit. Oops. A little glob. Okay. Something like that. Now, one more step. Let's get this glue put away. Is this the empty one? Oh, it's not empty. It must be plugged up. Okay. We want to mount that up under the ground pool. So we want to find a good distance. We're going to snip off a little bit of excess there. Bend that up some. We're going to position that right under there and then glue it in place. So we get some glue. Whoops. Oh shit, son. I'm going to get that back in that spot. All right, now on the top of this platform, you want to get your glue on there. In some spots. All right, cool. There's the ground pool. So I'm going to let this dry in front of the fan for a bit. I'm going to go show it to my little boy, actually. Then I'm going to let it dry in front of the fan. I'm going to make sure it's right and that it works. And then I'll spray paint it black. And I'll probably dry brush it white. We'll see. I don't know yet. And we'll come back and paint it. So that was fun. Took us about half an hour, I'm guessing. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. And all that happy crappy that makes the channel grow. Leave a comment. That's one of them. Oh, somebody knocked over an adult beverage. But, yeah, there's the ground pool. Looks like it's going to be cool. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.